can imagine, many home buyers have decided to wait on buying a home for the foreseeable future, with some even leaving home sellers in the lurch at closing. But Homevestors, the original We Buy Ugly Houses company, is continuing to close on existing offers and is still buying houses even during these unprecedented times. Fred Huber with Homevestors is joining us now to tell us how they could possibly help you. Good morning, Fred. Good to have you here with us today.
Good morning, Heather. Thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. Well, we have all seen the television commercials and the billboards for We Buy Ugly Houses and Homevestors, but not a lot of people know exactly what it is. So can you explain what you do and how you can help people?
Sure. Most people know us as the We Buy Ugly Houses people, and we're part of a system of over 1,000 franchisees covering the entire nation. We've purchased over 100,000 homes in the almost 25 years that we've been in business. So what we do is we offer a seller pretty much a guaranteed hassle-free cash way to sell their house, rescue their equity in a predictable fashion. And we do this through a personal interaction. We're locally based. Our franchisees are. They're members of the community. We typically visit with a seller and try to understand their situation and model a solution that makes sense to them and also to us.
And you mentioned that it's local. So in terms of Tucson and Southern Arizona, what are you seeing in the real estate industry right now that all the safety measures have been put into place to prevent COVID-19, obviously, and some of the economic decline that we're starting to see? How does that impact homeowners needing to sell their houses during these upcoming months?
Yes. Well, it's a very unfortunate situation. We see home sellers worried about visitors to their house who may bring the virus indoors and compromise their families, understandably. Because of the significant risk of unemployment, some lenders have also taken a more precautionary stance, and in some cases we've seen sales actually grind to a halt or cancel because financing did not go through. We continue to buy houses. We've honored our contracts and we continue to work with sellers. We don't depend for our purchases on the conventional financing. We have our lines of credit and a substantial amount of cash in the bank to do what we do. So when we make an offer the seller is happy with and we write it up as a contract, the seller can count on our performance of that commitment.
How many changes have you made to this process?
Well, the most significant one, of course, is that we understand the seller does not want us to, further the contagion, and we need to stay healthy so that we can continue doing our business and offering the service that we offer. So we're offering now on-site visits when that's appropriate. Of course, a vacant house is not a problem, and we will visit with a seller observing social distancing guidelines. But we also offer the possibility of doing a virtual appointment, much like this interview with you, using a tool such as WhatsApp or Skype or, any of the virtual phone and video calling technologies. And eventually, if we do reach an agreement, then we can write up a contract, and we don't even need to meet to sign a contract. We can do it electronically. At some point, we'll need to see the house before closing, but our commitment to the purchase is otherwise firm. If we do come to the house and we meet the seller, we can do an exterior appointment and visit only, and then hopefully the seller can provide us photos or videos of the interior so that we can firm up our understanding and our analysis of the property.
So if somebody is watching right now and they're in a position that they really need to sell their house, how does the cash buying process work?
It's very simple. So it starts with a phone call, and anybody can reach us at 1-800-44-BUYER or WeBuyUglyHouses.com. It's a simple process whereby we take the name of the seller, contact information, address of the house, and basic details, and then we set up an appointment. And that appointment, like I said earlier, can be a virtual appointment on telephone. We can do an exterior visit only, supported by pictures and video. We do our analysis. We discuss our findings with the seller. We try to understand really what's going on. What do they need? It's not hardly ever about the house. It's usually about a situation. So our solution is custom. We close when they need us to close. We accommodate other needs, even support for moving. They don't need to make repairs. They don't need to empty the house. This works really well in situations such as, for example, a relative who passes away in Tucson. Their kids are in Minnesota or in Oregon, and this happens quite often. They don't have a way to take care of anything in the property, and we do all of that, include that in our offer, and go forward. It's not limited only to older or homes that still need repair and maintenance. We buy anything. It's just that our system will need to cater to the seller's motivation and needs, and it's not, frankly, for everybody. There can be better options than us, but in a pinch, when a predictable closing, a firm commitment is necessary, I think we're the best bet.
Well, it's very nice to hear that people out there do have an option with you. And thanks so much for being here with us, Fred, and walking us through the process.
Thank you, Heather. It's a great time. We remain in this market. We have been here since 2003. We're very, very committed to what we do and available whenever a seller wants to explore how we can help them out.
Well, I'm glad that you were here with us this morning. Stay safe and healthy. And as always, We Buy Ugly Houses Homevestors offers home consultations, like Fred said, at no cost to you with no obligations. For more information, you can call them at 1-800-44-BUYER, or you can visit them online, WeBuyUglyHouses.com.